Hi everybody, I'm Jack and this is Raw Tropical Living. Thanks for joining me today. It is just a nice, quiet, peaceful Sunday afternoon, just a little bit afternoon, and I've just had another wonderful day. I haven't done a whole lot so far today. My lower back's bothering me just a little bit. I tweaked it just a little bit about 10 days or so ago, and then I was working out a couple of days ago. It's just something, it may just be like sore muscles, so I'm going to do a little light yoga session this afternoon, focusing on the lower back. And things are all good, like always. I'm eating abundant fruit. I'm just digging these mangoes I got at the market yesterday. These are big old mangoes. See how they compare to my head? I've already had 2 or 3 this morning. Or no, I've had 2 mangoes this morning. I had some pineapple and papaya as well, and some banana and ice cream. So a nice little variety so far. Just getting into a little more of the little bit of the psychology of a healthy lifestyle, whether it be a raw vegan lifestyle, high carb vegan lifestyle, whatever. Or even just like trying to look at habits or different things that you do in your life. You've probably, if you've watched any amount of my videos, you've probably heard me talk before. I like to read Thich Nhat Hanh a good bit, and I try to focus on mindfulness, although it's a lesson that's probably going to take 2 or 3 more lifetimes for me to fully grasp. I struggle with that myself, but I was thinking this morning as I was looking at something of Thich Nhat Hanh's online about how this could be applied to food. And just another little trick. Like I say, I'm just always trying to come up with a little trick that, little this, that, the other that adds up. That might be the one that does it for you. You just never know. And I like to play with the psychology on this a little bit because I think everybody else is focused so much on the nuts and bolts of it, of like, okay, here's the program, eat like this, do like this, you're going to eat this much percentage of this of that, don't eat this, don't eat that. And not really thinking about or focusing much on the psychology of this, and little tricks that we can use within our brain. I've always used, it's not just since I've switched to a healthier lifestyle 4 or 5 years ago. I've always used little tricks to kind of help me along, like little things like that. But when it comes to the food, and okay, we'll talk about raw vegan today because I think the raw vegans are the ones that really put a lot of pressure on themselves, and we see this a lot, and we see people that try to go very high raw vegan in the beginning because they want to, and I can kind of understand that. They see what a lot of the vibrance of some of the people that are doing well on this lifestyle, and they're sometimes a little over anxious to get there. It's really about, I don't want to use the old cliche, one day at a time, but really that can be applied to so many different areas of life. And if you just use that concept, and sometimes you can even break things down even more than that. Sometimes in the past, if I've had a task that's unpleasant, something that's boring, something that I just want to get over, or just a lot of work, or something that's a big task, I break it down into smaller things. How much, what can I do just for this hour? So you can even break that down into not just day by day or one day at a time, but 1 hour at a time. Break it down to however you have to do to get into your head and make it work for you. I think words, a lot of times, words can be intimidating, even though they are only words. And I've talked about this before. I find never and always to be some of the most psychologically intimidating words to people there can be. It's kind of daunting when you've come to this lifestyle, and also depending on how you came to the lifestyle, where you were at when you came to this lifestyle. You've been doing this a long time. You've eaten a certain way. Certain habits have become ingrained in your being. For some, if it was somebody like me, I didn't come to this lifestyle till I was about 47, 48 years old. So there was close to 5 decades of doing a certain behavior. And, I kind of just have flowed with it from the beginning, from the very beginning. Well, just to kind of reiterate, the one rule I kind of think I did have from the very first weekend that I started seeing anything about raw veganism, veganism in general, is I did know, but for, that I was vegan. I mean, the vegan part, That was kind of like, yep, that makes sense to me. I'm now vegan. I'm plant-based, whatever you want to call it. But the raw, I've just always kind of said, well, I'll play with that. Let's just see where it goes. I will follow and see where it goes. Now, I went very high in the beginning, high raw in the beginning. Lost a bunch of weight, had to do some things to adjust. That's not really part of the one day at a time type thing, but just a little bit of past history there. Well, I never had those constraints on me, and I think maybe that's another reason. I always try to I try to pinpoint, why this lifestyle has worked for me, and it's really not been much of an effort, because it's not like I'm some achiever or some spectacular being. Quite the opposite. I was a screw up, a drunk. I'm kind of a slacker. But this just always this lifestyle has just pretty much worked for me. There's things I don't know. Like I didn't eat enough in the beginning, but I haven't really had a hard time staying to a high carb, raw vegan lifestyle, and consequently a raw lifestyle. I've been very, very high raw. I eat cooked food when I go to the States, and yeah, there's a chance, living up here at some point I'll eat sweet potatoes at night, or I'll eat some yuca at night when I can't get, if I just don't have enough here to maintain calories, it's kind of hard getting back to the store. But in general, I'm pretty high raw vegan, but I never put any pressure on myself. And that's just another one of the little tricks. I can just say, I don't know, what made it work for me. Like, I see so many people struggling with it, and I'm thinking to myself, like, okay, how me is such a screw up? I'm trying to relate to it. So I'm just always trying to throw out a little, just any kind of little tip I can that may have helped me along the way, or maybe like I say, this has just been kind of a process of mine, a part of my process for many years. It's just trying not to see just the whole big picture. Sometimes it's good to see the big picture, and sometimes it's just good just to focus on your one little aspect of the big picture. But yeah, I think so many people, it's just like, I can see it. I can see it through what they're writing online. I can see it through comments they make, whatever, that they're just scared to death. And I can kind of understand that, because they want to do this lifestyle. They believe this is the lifestyle that's best for them, but still they can't quite wrap their head around, like, I'm never going to eat this again, or I'm always going to eat this, or I'm always going to be raw vegan, or I'm never going to eat cooked, I'm never going to eat this, I'm never going to eat that, never, 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 never. Don't focus on those nevers and always. I did a video some time ago. I have no concept of time a lot of times. When I say I did a video a little while ago, it could have been 2 months ago, it could have been a year and a half ago. But and I kind of talked about this, about how you just have to break it down into little digestible bites, the knowledge that is and the process that is, and make it work for you. But if you will take out this just obsession with, like, getting there so fast, doing it forever, I'm going to be raw vegan for the rest of my life. I'll finish up with this, and I've talked about it before, and it really taught me something about, as I've spoken of before, about a year into being on this lifestyle. Got locked up down in Panama on a little immigration thing, and ended up doing an 8-day water fast while I was in there. Well, the point of the 8-day water fast is I did it starting on day one. I didn't say I'm going to do an X amount of day water fast. I didn't say I was going to do a 3-day, a 5-day, a 7-day, a 10-day. I started from the very beginning, and I said, when I woke up this morning, I said, I'm going to water fast today, and tomorrow when I wake up, I'll make a decision. I'll see how I feel. I'll see what I'm led to, and if I want to, I'll do it again. Second day I woke up, but there was never, even into the second, third, and fourth day, there was never like, okay, I was never looking and projecting down the road. It was always just about, okay, today I'm water fasting. And I knew without a doubt I can get through today water fasting. Now, if I'd have been doing it, if I'd have said I'm going to do 10 days without food from the beginning, that might would have gotten into my head, and I'd have been thinking the whole time, oh my God, there's 9 days left. I didn't know how many days I was going to do it, and the water fast part of it's not part of the story. I don't really do the fasting thing. That was just kind of I was locked up. I didn't have the kind of food I wanted to eat, so I said, why not? But you see what I mean, and if you will break it down, really all you ever have to do, and that's what you can think about it in anything, increments, small increments, small increments. If you've lost 50 pounds, I don't understand the people, you lose 50 pounds, no matter how much you've got to lose, that's a big chunk of weight. If you've lost 50 pounds, then you can lose another 50 pounds. You've already proven you can do it. You've lost 50 pounds, so let me play devil's advocate. Why couldn't you lose another 50 pounds? Is the process all of a sudden going to change? I mean, you know, as long as you keep doing what you're doing, it may slow down, but you're going to lose the other 50 pounds. And the same thing with raw vegan or high carb vegan or whatever version of this vegan lifestyle you're trying to do. If you can do it for one day, if you can be a raw vegan for one day, you have proved it to yourself that you can do it. You can, I mean, one day it's just a matter of, okay, now you do it the next day. And you repeat, and you repeat, and you repeat over and over. You make, you know, on those days, you tweak a little bit each day, and you take the mistakes you made. Maybe you were a little too hungry today, and it was tougher to stay raw vegan. So tomorrow, you carry that over, and you know you have to eat a little bit more. But always just be focusing on the now. Focus on the present moment, and be mindful of the present moment, because that's really all we've got to live in. So if you will live more in the present, which is something, like I say, I'm working on every day. A lot of things work in life if you just don't start projecting and thinking what can happen, what might happen, thinking too much about the future. Now, we do have to think about the future. I'm not saying we can just willy-nilly live in the moment 100%, but you get my meaning. So anyhow, I'll just start rambling from here on in. So if you like this one, give me a thumbs up. Hope you'll subscribe to the channel, and I hope you are having a beautiful week. By the time you're watching this, like I say, I got a good bit ahead on the videos because I wanted to be ahead when Melissa got here, so I wasn't like confined to shooting a video for the day. So probably by the time, yeah, definitely by the time you watch this, she'll have been here probably by a day or two. So anyhow, love you guys. Peace.